Let's go! Spring practice is here, and on PHL, we're LSU football 24/7, 366. We have been dying to get the new look LSU Tigers out on the field, and of course, our spring practice coverage is presented by our friends at the Presley Collection and PresleyCollection.com. And let's just stop it right here. I have a very special announcement for all you lovely LSU fans. This man right here, Jack Bech, will be on the channel. Oh, you don't want to miss it. Monday night, 8:30 Central. The link has already been made. It is down below if you want to hurry up and reserve your slot. So right here, you see Brad Davis. You see Cortez Hankton. All kinds of new coaches around here. You see Cam Wire. This looks to be Marcus Doomerville at right tackle. Jack Mashburn getting the first team reps here at tight end. And, of course, we see a man who is probably under the most pressure out of any non-quarterback is John Emery. He looks to be a little bit thicker here, which is actually a good thing. Charles Turner, there's Bech right there getting the first team reps at center. That looked to be Cardell Thomas getting the first team reps at right guard. We get a throw here to Brian Thomas Jr. And I want you to see this right here. This is Will Campbell. Look at how big this guy is as a true freshman. And Brian Kelly actually pointed him out in the spring practice in his first press conference after the spring practice. So obviously that's really good. One very thing important to note, Garrett Nussmeier now wears number 13. He trains from number 5, and then of course Jayden Daniels is now the new number 5. So there he is right there, Jack Mashburn getting the first team reps. So it looks as if right now Jack Bech is mostly focusing on wide receiver, but that, of course, is always subject to change. You see Tremont Shorts here at left guard, and then this is obviously Cam Wire at left tackle. So once again, a lot of new jersey numbers, and this is obviously really good to see as well. John Emery catching the football out of the backfield. So once again, we're playing these clips in slow motion. This footage is actually from Tiger TV, where I got my start in broadcasting. And here you go. You see the first look here at Jayden Daniels alongside Corey Kiner right here. And there he is, Will Campbell. I mean, he looks huge and ready to go. It looks like he's been working on his figure as well. The camera gets faked out here by the fake, but I'm actually happy because you see here, this is Fitzgerald West. He's got those two big knee braces there along with Xavier Hill. So Fitzgerald West already working at center. This is Walker Howard, number 14, handing the football off here. Once again, I get faked out here by the zone read. The fake handoff here to Corey Kiner. Chris Hilton right here as well. New number 16 is Kyron Lacey. Last year, of course, that was the young man who transferred to Louisiana Tech, Devonta Lee. So now we get this snap right here to Jayden Daniels, once again just working through these individual drills. Now, it's very important to note that this is still very early. Good to see Chris Hilton right there catching that football. We see Josh Williams. We see Armani Goodwin mixed in there. Obviously, really good to see. I believe this is Kevontre Bradford, number 26. So, once again, a new running backs coach, Frank Wilson, who's out there now. And there's John Emery going through this individual drill. So you see Frank right there in the white hat. So obviously good to have him back. And then, of course, at the end, Brian Kelly addressing the team. So this is just a first look right here. Obviously very, very early. But one thing that did stick out to me more so than anything else was John Emery's frame. He does look thicker, and he does look ready to go, focused. And look, I think they're going to give him a pretty long leash to win this running back job and get probably a 60 to 70% snap share. And here's Corey Kiner trying to rip this football off. Just a typical running back ball security drill, something that, of course, is very important. Now, don't get confused. Noah Cain also wore number 21. It's important to note Noah Cain will not be a part of spring football. He won't be here until the summer. But one thing I like about Noah Cain and John Emery combined, they only have 2 career fumbles, and I say that, and John Emery actually gets the ball poked out. All right, so we move ahead here to some footage, and this is new quarterback coach Joe Sloan. And this is something we talked about on last night's live stream. By the way, a friendly reminder, no live stream Saturday night. We are doing a Sunday, Monday back-to-back. Of course, Sunday, just our normal live stream, and then, of course, Monday with Jack Bech. But I want to go back to about right here, and this footage is from TigerDetails. I want you to just see how much individual work and chemistry is being built with a new quarterbacks coach, right? Walker Howard was recruited for years by a different staff, and this is honestly his third different quarterback coach that has recruited him with all these different offensive coordinators. And all these different quarterbacks have been dealing with different offensive coordinators. Jayden Daniels, first offensive coordinator at Arizona State, was not with them his sophomore and junior season. So it's very important to note, I had a few people mention this in live streams, and a few people that were actually at practice bring this up to me, that the quarterbacks did look really rough overall. But understand, this is the first time that a lot of them are throwing in pads, but more importantly, getting used to the new drills, the pace of practice, how practice is run. Obviously, all four of these young men, in particular, Myles Brennan, is under a lot of pressure. So it's still early. And don't freak out if you see some throws that are just off the mark. Once again, these are just typical footwork quarterback drills. And obviously, one of the big keys to quarterbacking, and you hear Drew Brees talk about this as well, is when your feet get planted, how quickly can you get that football off? And you see, one thing that I've seen from Walker Howard is his release really is quick. And once again, there's no rush. There's only so much you could take away from a quarterback drill. But there you go with Jayden Daniels. And number 12 is Tavian Falk, who is the fifth-string guy. I think I saw Matt O'Dowd on the sideline, not dressed out here. So the big thing, though, is, of course, LSU still has 4 scholarship quarterbacks at this point. So, obviously, this is kind of a jarring situation for a lot of these guys at this point in their careers. So, once again, number 13 is Garrett Nussmeier, number 14, Walker Howard, and number 5, Jayden Daniels, and number 15, Myles Brennan. So, obviously, this is just no mystery. This is going to be a big part of the LSU offense next year. Zone read, especially if Jayden Daniels is going to be your quarterback. And, look, a lot of these quarterbacks for the majority of their career worked out a shotgun. So, it's very important to keep that in mind. Alrighty, let's chat some defense, baby. Let's go. So this is just your typical pursuit drill. Ali Gay, Mason Smith, Jaquelin Roy, and, of course, B.J. Ojulari. But really, pre-snap here is my biggest takeaway. LSU in a 3-man look with the standing outside linebacker with Ojulari. I liked him out of the standing role. I thought he was more effective when they actually used him like that last year. You have Jarek Bernard-Converse back here as well with Greg Penn and I believe Mike Jones working with the first-team linebackers. And what pursuit drill basically is you do a fake quarterback throw and you're pursuing as if you're running down the ball carrier. Just very simple baseline stuff. I believe this is Robert Steeples right here. And in the background, you have Matt House. Very simple stuff. We did this in high school, okay? That just lets you know how early we are in spring practice. So just a little FYI, this is a period clock. This helps segment practices. All schools use it, or a good majority of them do. Here's little Jacobian Guillory also mixed in there. I believe that's Mekhi Wingo and a very popular player on this channel, Savion Jones from St. Amant. And, of course, here is Mr. Todd Harris. Once again, defense, offense, there's our guy Sage Ryan. I'm really liking him going into next year. Good to see Ray Darius Jones out there. Shout out to Max holding down the NYC Power Hour LSU chapter, baby. Gotta love it. We're expecting a lot out of Radar as he got a lot of snaps. And look at Wes Weeks. Pretty big dude. There's Chase McLaughlin, a walk-on linebacker right there. There's Jamar Cain. Good to see him out there. Gotta love it. Once again, I believe this is a walk-on defensive back here. 56, don't know 56. 81 is Bryce Langston. Here's Philip Webb running this standing outside linebacker role. Here's somebody that I'm really interested in at a Rummel High School, Kobe Fields, who went to South Carolina in year 1, and now he is transferred back here in year 2 on scholarship. Very interested to see Kobe. I do expect him to play a lot on special teams next year. And number 93 is Quency Wiggins. Good to see Quency out there, and you could just see this dude is already one of the biggest dudes on the team. So that's obviously really exciting right there. And number 56 is Deshaun Richardson, a freshman walk-on defensive tackle. I believe he's a walk-on. So once again, just typical pursuit drill. It is good to see Quency out there for the first time. There, I believe, is Micah Baskerville right there. Very interesting to see him working with essentially looks like the number 3 unit. So, yeah, once again, don't take too much away from that. Still very early into everything. Alrighty, so with this, the first bit of tackling drills. Kobe Fields, obviously, right here. Pretty straightforward. Just tackle the dummy very early on. This is the first time any of these players have tackled in the longest, so you won't see really any hitting drills probably for quite some time. Here's Wes Weeks right here, obviously working with Matt House, the new linebackers and defensive coordinator. So there you go. Mike Jones back there. There's Jordan Tolles working with the defensive backs. Obviously very baseline tackling drills. Shout out to Blake and Mike Jones. Gotta freaking love it. Let's go. Is that a Josh White sighting right here? I hope we get a Josh White sighting. And I believe that is. There we go. I know a lot of you are waiting for Josh White to emerge. Good to see him out there. There's Baskerville over there as well. So really cool stuff. So here we go. We end things here with some quarterback drills. You have Brian Kelly in the background, and this is via Shea Dixon. Once again, it's Myles Brennan just working out the kinks. This is pretty much zone read drill. I mean, there's not a whole lot to really take away from this other than, zone read and pulling and throwing on the run is actually a big part of the Mike Denbrock offense. And the reason why that's important to point out is Mike Denbrock actually had success with these types of run-pass option where you get your quarterback running out to the right, and he has, of course, the option to hand the football off. He can, of course, pull and run with it, or he could throw to a running back who might be in motion. That was a play that Cincinnati got Bama with for a big gain. So, obviously, this is a very big piece of what LSU's probably going to want to do next year. So, it's a little... The play itself, of course, you see Myles, this ball was just way off. The play itself, though, is a little awkward, right? Especially if you have no running back, no rusher. You're trying to make this as game-like as possible. And that's what makes this throw so tough is that there's going to be an unblocked guy coming right at you there. Sometimes there is, sometimes there's not. And that's why they made Myles do that drill again. So, it's tough, especially if you haven't played all that much. Good stuff right there by Nuss getting it over the rusher, which, of course, is Joe Sloan. So, obviously, first practice. Also, something else is it was windy outside. So, with the wind blowing the way that it was, especially if you're a quarterback that may or may not have been doing most of your work indoors, this is all very new, right? So, once again, Jayden Daniels actually just got on campus. So, these are essentially the same drills you saw a little bit earlier. So, we'll end things right here. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, like this video. We're going to be doing all kinds of videos like this throughout the spring thanks to our friends at Presley Collection. Diamonds, watches, they do it all. And on Monday night, we'll reveal what we've been doing with the Presley Collection Anthony Starr Presley and Jack Bech. You will not want to miss out on that. Once again, that link is down below. There is some more content floating in your face right now. Some Jayden Daniels film studies, some Noah Cain and John Emery film studies. So make sure you check that out. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom. Oh, and tonight, doing some pasta. Let's go.